Aloha, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Morning Brew, a place to sip your coffee, breathe deeply, and remember who you are before the rest of the world tries to tell you who you need to be. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jamaica Wallace. I am a licensed Science of Mind practitioner, a Reiki master teacher, angel intuitive, lover of an excellent cup of coffee, and meaningful conversations. I love asking the kind of questions that help us remember who we are. So I invite you to grab your favorite beverage in your cup, take a nice deep breath, and let's begin. If you're following along with the morning brew, you may have noticed something. I did Monday's show and then I disappeared. And you know what? It's okay because I'm actually really proud of myself. For 2 weeks now, I showed up and I continued doing something that really does matter to me and that I'm dedicated to trying to do. But sometimes life shows up. I know it wasn't perfect. I didn't complete all 5 shows, which is my goal. I'd like to have a show every single morning. But my little dog Princess got sick last week. And unfortunately, I had to ultimately make a decision to help her transition peacefully. And that was one of the most difficult things that I've ever had to walk through with a pet in this lifetime. Now, I don't want to get into the details about her passing, but I do want to talk about the experience and what it showed me because it connects so beautifully to what we've been exploring this month. For many years, many, all the times I've ever, 50 years I've been here and known animals, one of my greatest fears has been having to make one of those decisions for that animal. I didn't want that responsibility. I didn't want to have to be the one to decide that. I was just very happy to let nature and Great Spirit make those choices. Last year, though, my dog Snoopy, who was Princess's brother, I got them at the same time, was made his transition. And it was natural. It was a natural transition. And honestly, it was very, very difficult and traumatic for both of us. I was able to be there with him and hold him, but witnessing it and watching what he went through, it was a bit of a struggle actually for him as well. Um, and so that was difficult. And so with Princess, I really kept hoping that she would just fall asleep and that would be it. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. Her body, her body stopped, but she wasn't able to like do things, everything, really walk at all, unfortunately, anymore. She couldn't stand to even go potty or do any of that. And when that happened, that's when I realized, she looked at me one morning and I just knew that's what I had to do. And let me tell you how interesting it is that we are exploring our fears and last week as a compass and, when we can dive into them because, let me tell you, fear was screaming. I was so angry. I was mad. I was sad, I was hurt, I was, all of the things that I was just so mad that I had to make that decision. The one, especially, and even the one thing that I didn't want to have to make for my pets. And on a little side note, metaphysically, a really pretty big healing happened for me through this process as well. Besides with my Princess, it was a commingling of healing, if you will, which I love about my journey. Is that happens a lot. Is it was the same day that my father had made his transition 13 years ago, and I had to make the decision to take him off of a life support type system in order to let him transition peacefully. And interestingly, through the experience with both of them, the hardest choice I ever had to make, and my dad was the hardest in my entire life ever, um, became one of the most peaceful, loving gifts that I was able to give to myself and to my father and to my beautiful princess, because their passing was gentle and peaceful and loving and calm. And so, what a beautiful gift. So here we are, right in the middle of all of that. So I allowed myself to do what I teach. I practiced what I tried to teach and allowed for the emotion and the healing and for me to just process what I needed to process. And so here we are. Now we're back and we're going to give it another shot this week. I'll be honest, I got a really super busy week. This might be the only episode we get out is Monday's morning brew. But you know what? It's okay because we're just going to keep moving together. We're going to keep building this together and we're going to keep growing together. So thank you for being here. So today's reflection question is really personal for me today. It really hits home, and I think you'll see why here. Our question of the day is, what if the thing I fear is pointing toward what I love? I definitely can say for myself personally, that's 100% on point. Here's what I discovered. Underneath my fear was absolutely love. What I was afraid of, because I loved my princess and my dad, I was afraid of losing because they mattered. They mattered so much to me. And that is what that fear was protecting. When I finally made the decision, though, and took Princess into the veterinarian, something happened that I wasn't expecting. It was peaceful. It was beautiful. It was calm. She was in my arms, slowly drifted off. And it turned out that the thing I had feared the most turned out to be the thing that I was able to give the greatest gift of love to her through. Pretty powerful. Now, would I have chosen this experience? No, I would rather not choose it at all, period. But that would mean that I would also miss out on having them, loving them, having them in my life. I would have to say no to all of that. And I'm not. I would never be willing to miss out on any of that. I'm so grateful that I had her in my life. Of course, I'm grateful I had my father in my life, right? I'm so grateful for them. So, no, I wouldn't have made those choices to go through that experience, but I understand how the fear of making the choice and my ability to make that choice was love. Pure love, and how beautiful that is. The difference between the fear and the love is that the fear showed me only what I would lose. But the love showed me how to be present, how to be grateful, how to be in the now with what I loved, what meant and means so much to me. Very, very different. So, in The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes describes fear as a kind of misplaced faith. And I don't hear that as a reason for shaming ourselves for being afraid. I hear it as an invitation to become curious. Where have I placed my faith in this moment? Have I placed it entirely in the frightening picture my mind is creating? Or can I also place some faith in love, in the presence, in the wisdom that may become available when the moment actually arrives? Fear races ahead. But love brings us back to the present, to the moment, to the now. So I want to hear from you guys. Drop a comment, let me know. You don't have to get super personal or crazy, but you can if you want to. Let's get deep with this. But I want you to consider, what are you afraid of losing because you deeply love it? Maybe fear is trying to reveal something sacred to you right now. And I invite you to take a few moments, go into the silence, and let's do a short meditation and ask the question, what are you afraid of losing because you deeply love it? That will be our intention today. I invite you to either take a gaze at a soft candle, some beautiful flowers, or gently close your eyes if that's comfortable. Also knowing that if you're driving or operating equipment at work or anything like that, pause. You can always come back to this part of the video and be a part of the meditation at a different time. But I invite you just to, again, gently close those eyes and start with a nice deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in, as deep as you can, just filling those lungs with beautiful life force energy. And as you exhale, allowing yourself to just be comfortably seated, supported in your seat, knowing that you are in the present, in the moment, in the now. And as you continue to breathe, I invite you just to imagine that the bottom of your feet are a set of roots, just like a tree, and that those roots are extending down through the house that you're sitting in, through whatever building, wherever you may be. It's able to just go right through that energy, straight down into the earth, into Mother Gaia, and just setting the intention to allow those roots to anchor deep, deep, deep into the mother, into the soil, the earth, the clay, the water, the beautiful healing vibration of the very core of Mother Earth, sending up the healing, the vibration, the connection to those roots, anchoring you deep, deep, deep. And feel a little tug even on those roots as Mother connects and sends that nourishing, balancing, healing energy up through those roots. And as you continue to breathe, you just feel that calm, peace, as it just energy moves up through the feet, through the calves, the knees, up through your thighs, through your hips, your tummy, up through the abdomen, up through your chest, through your throat, up through the head, out through the top of your head, and sending that energy all the way out to the cosmos, all the way to the divine source of all creation, of all universal energy, allowing that energy to anchor into the top, extending, continuing to breathe in and out, doing excellent, and allowing that energy from the cosmos to come back down, 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 through the body, gently cleansing, washing over your body through the top of your head, through the throat, through the chest, through your abdomen, through your hips, your legs, all the way to Mother Gaia, just anchoring you into this beautiful, peaceful, gentle space. In this nice, gentle, calm space, we just set the intention again to ask, what are you afraid of losing because you deeply love it? Where's fear pointing to love in your life today that's ready to be revealed? And again, we're not here to judge anything. We're just simply allowing the awareness to come into our knowingness and knowing that everyone receives this in different ways. You may just hear something gently in the back of your mind, or you may see a picture, or you may get a scent of something that reminds you of a person, place, or thing. We all sense, or we just know, we all receive in our own beautiful way, but we all are divinely connected to this universal energy that is there to guide us. This is a beautiful tool in meditation that we can use to connect with that. Just allow whatever wants to come through to come through. What are you afraid of losing that you deeply love? What is that fear pointing towards? What love is asking to be revealed? Where is your presence asking to be seen and felt? Often we misplace our fear as a signal to run. But what is fear showing you is requiring your presence right now? Again, no judgment, just observing. And just knowing that this is a beautiful tool, again, just calming ourselves, anchoring to the Mother Gaia, anchoring into peace, calm, and listening. Just for a few moments, that's all it takes. Give yourself gratitude. Just thanks. Bring gratitude into your heart. Allow that feeling to bubble out of the heart, through the body, into the universe for the ability to come into this sacred space. And then set the intention to gently come back into the body. We're just going to begin by wiggling the fingers and the toes, gently rotating the shoulders, the head, and opening your eyes slowly if it feels comfortable, and returning fully back to now. Namaste. Congratulations. That was a beautiful job. We're practicing being in the presence of fear without allowing it to take the wheel. Good job. Today's messages coming from the Angels of Abundance deck. We're going to do a little shuffle and see what the angels have for us today. Whoop, there we go. Exercise to increase your energy and manifest your abilities. How beautiful is that? Because what I'm hearing here is exercise with our tools, things like meditation that we just did, exercising, being in the presence of fear without letting it take the wheel. What a beautiful message and confirmation. The key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels. And the easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise and practicing our tools. Choose a fun and meaningful activity that you'll look forward to experiencing, and allow that to become the reward. So also being encouraged to get outside, become part of nature. Here we are if you're in this part of the world, summertime, and we have the beautiful energy to get out and enjoy it right now. Mother Nature is calling. There's this beautiful angel out in the nature, right? In the nature. It's such a beautiful place to be quiet. When we can go out into nature and get quiet, be still, and listen. It's a beautiful, beautiful gift. I'm going to read the message from the book as well, because there's always, it might hear it a little different or resonate, or even a word that sticks out for somebody a little differently. So the angels of abundance bring you this card to remind you of an important truth. The higher your physical energy levels, the faster your physical manifestation will appear. One of the best ways to increase your physical energy is through healthful exercise. Exercise, much like meditation, allows messages and guidance from the angels of abundance to come through more clearly. People who incorporate exercise into their daily lives generally have much more positive thoughts and take more positive action. This infusion of positivity can have a ripple effect into every part of your life. Choose the type of exercise that makes your heart sing with joy as another way of increasing your energy and ensuring you'll be motivated to do it regularly. Or pair your workout with something pleasant. Listen to uplifting music or a podcast or the morning brew while you're exercising. Or watch an inspirational movie while jogging on the treadmill. Make exercise a non-optional activity, just like brushing your teeth or hair. When your energy and optimism stay high, you'll be rewarded with increased abundance as well. So our prosperity depends upon our even physical, not only using our meditative tools, but physically getting out and being active. And man, I can attest to that too. Yesterday, I have my 3-year-old dog we have one puppy left. That's rare for me. I've had 3 for quite a while. So having just one was very interesting, but we stopped and we went to the river and we walked on the path in the park and able to get out and do these things that I wasn't able to do as easily in the past with 3 big dogs. But it's a fun thing, right? It's fun way. Love walking, getting out with our doggies, with our pets, with our loved ones, whoever it is, get out, do it, get busy. Spirit's calling us into nature. All right, guys, today's practice is simple. When fear shows up, don't immediately ask, how do I get rid of this? Don't run from it, but ask, what does this fear tell me that I love? And then listen. Thank you so much for sharing the morning brew with me this morning. Sip your coffee, breathe deeply, and remember who you are before the rest of the world tries to tell you who you need to be. You don't have to figure everything out all at once today. Just stay curious, stay present, and go courageously create a beautiful day. I love you, beautiful soul. Aloha.